When I think of a person that is strong, I don't think of someone who's a bodybuilder or someone who's really good at sports. I think of someone that can handle emotional situations very well and has most likely been through something that's made them a stronger person. The one person I think of when I hear the word strength is my young and lively grandmother, who I also consider my hero. She's so involved in my life still, as well as her other five grandchildren and her three children. When I was in high school, she would come to every single one of my sports games. She wouldn't miss it. She'd sit in the rain, the heat, anything. And now she sits through my brother's high school sports and my younger cousins. Even though my younger cousins' games can move quite slow because they're young, she's still always there from the beginning to end. And she feels awful if she misses one of the games. She also calls me to see how I'm doing every once in a while when I'm at school. And when I'm home, she always stops by almost every day just to see us. And now that she is texting, she's texting all of us a lot more. She also, from what I've heard, brags about her children and her grandchildren to every single person she meets. Everyone at work, people come into my work and be like, oh, you're Phyllis's granddaughter. And, I just know that she's really proud of her family and excited that, she's part of all of our lives still and is able to be there for us. Recently, my dad had been in the hospital and had to get his gallbladder removed, and she was there when we didn't know what was wrong at first. She was there every waking moment that my dad wanted her there, Even though he's grown and has his own family and a wife, she still is always there for him and he still needs her, and she knows that. And even though she has her own life ahead of her and everything, she's still there for all of us when we need her, which I admire about her a lot. The emotional time that she went through was when my grandfather passed away about 8 years ago. And they were together every waking moment from the moment they woke up to when they went to bed. And they were they were the perfect relationship. Like they would fight, but they clearly were in love still after so many years. And when he passed away, it was clearly devastating to her. And we were all there for her. We were there that night, and it was amazing because as upset as she was, she still wanted to make sure all of us were okay. She would call me and be like, are you all right with all this? And she even tried to get people to talk to us and try to make us feel better before herself, because she's always been that selfless person that wants everyone to be okay before she is. One of the main reasons that I find my grandmother so heroic is because ever since that time, she has been able to live on her own perfectly fine, and she is so upbeat. She still talks about my grandfather all the time, and so many people would not be able to do this if they were faced with this situation, and she is able to do that and so much more. She still lives in the house that they lived in, which is a good sized house, and a lot of people wouldn't be able to, be in the spot where all they had known their whole life was with him. And she still does that. She kept it mainly for us because it would have been tough to see her move and have to, live maybe like a one bedroom. It would just be kind of hard. And they also had a house in Maine, and she was gonna sell it, but it was a big family spot. We would go up to Maine every year at the same time, and she kept it because she knew that it would probably be disappointing to us if she got rid of the house and we weren't able to go vacation around there every year, because it's a tradition since way before I was born. They would go up all the time, and now we all rent cottages around there, and it wouldn't be the same. And the first year was tough, but she made it just so like everything was fine. Also, on Christmas, we had the tradition that we would always go to her house and we'd open gifts there in the morning. And my grandfather and my grandmother would open gifts. He would sit in his chair and she would sit in a chair next to him. And the next year we weren't sure what was going to happen. Is she going to still sit in that spot or should we do it somewhere else? But she still offered to have Christmas this year. It was almost a year after he had died because he passed away in January. And she sat right in his chair, and we didn't even think anything of it. We thought it was nice, and it's definitely strong of her to be able to do all of this. It was an emotional day, but she was able to still do all the same things. She makes us all stockings, puts up the tree on her own, and she's just so strong that she's so positive still. And I don't know many people that would be like that. A lot of people just wouldn't be able to handle themselves, and they wouldn't even, especially, be able to help all of us before her. And that is the main reason I find her so admirable and heroic, that she thinks about everyone before herself, even when faced with such hard situations like that. I admire my grandmother more than she'll ever know. I hope I can be half the person and grandmother she is. She's an amazing mother, grandmother, aunt, and friend to everyone in her life. She'll forever be my hero and the strongest woman I know. Thank you.